All right, we're going to pay attention.
As of recently, Corey Holcomb has been going at different people who have been talking about, his lack of fighting skills and how much of a scaredy cat he is. And one of those people is Joe Budden. Now, again, this is just talking trash and, nobody is really going to do anything. And that's important to know, right? And that's why, trying to be a tough guy on the internet or talking tough when you have a big platform doesn't really make a lot of sense. But in the case of Corey Holcomb or Joe Budden, both of them engage in this. And so Joe Budden made fun of Corey Holcomb because when he got into the scuffle with Christina Payne's boyfriend, Joe Budden said that, that Corey wouldn't do that same thing if he saw him or something to that effect. Now, the issue is Corey Holcomb eventually would respond to that by saying this.
Talk about, well, he made it clear if I saw him, I wouldn't be trying to fight. I'm glad you wouldn't try to fight, but I'm just saying.
Cake.
Homie, you said I can't fight, so it ain't no excuses, remember?
Now, there is a guy here by the name of Big Homie CC. I believe he's like a big time or a former bodyguard in the industry. Big dude. He's known for, I guess, throwing fades or beating people up and stuff like that. I've seen him around the podcast circuit. He was recently on a podcast with some other guys. He's also from Chicago, okay? And this is the challenge he issues out to Corey Holcomb.
Corey Holcomb, brand risk said they got $50,000 a piece for us to get in the ring right now, and you ducking. They said they've been calling you and you ducking them.
Yeah, because he does do a lot of tough talking with a lot.
And
of
he fights girls.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Y'all saw the video?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then I look at the comments. I see some dudes talking about, oh yeah, he got mushed, or he's mushing girls. Like, bro, there's no excuse for that. Like putting your hands on, regardless. She didn't put her hands on you.
No.
Yeah, and
it's not like you were defending
and only
yourself.
one man came to her defense out there.
I saw that.
Which the whole thing is, I don't get. You never put your hands on a woman. I don't care.
I don't give a what you do.
I don't care what happens.
Like, that's crazy.
You protect women and children. That's
damn
it.
right.
Yeah, like if you're getting attacked, of course, like you're not gonna, you can defend yourself to get her off of you, but just like that wasn't the case.
It wasn't
he
the
walked
case.
up to her and slapped her.
Yeah, he was the aggressor.
Literally.
Nah, I'm gonna need somebody to get in.
So
good pause. Good pause.
Super pause.
Yeah, he's on point.
So here's the paradox, if you will, that's going on here. Number one, Corey Holcomb usually on the show, when anybody talks to, you ain't gonna do this in real life. You wouldn't run up on me. You wouldn't pull up on me. And eventually what happens with that sort of behavior, there's gonna be somebody that maybe isn't the same size as Joe Budden platform. Because, there are certain people that Corey Holcomb just probably will not respond to because of their size or their social media clout. And you have some other person that's like this guy, Big Homie CC. Now, I do think he does have some clout online. People do know about him. I see him trending on TikTok. So, I don't know how big of an influencer he is, but he does seem to have some people out there. He's saying, look, they want us to get into the ring, man. And the reason why I want to watch you is for the 50,000. But no.
I would want to see this. I ain't gonna lie. Ain't no disrespect, but this nigga don't look like he in shape, man. Yeah, they talk about a boxing match. You know what I'm saying? I can see it now. Corey Holcomb just gonna be pulling a Mayweather versus what was that fight Mayweather was running around the ring, man? Was that Pacquiao or something, man? That nigga was running around the ring so he could stay undefeated. Oh god, I mean that was kind of that nigga's strategy though, definitely for that fight for sure. But I could definitely see that happening. Just tire this big nigga out.
Number one, you hit women, come hit a man. And not only that, look at these past comments you've been saying about young girls. Now, this is problematic because Corey Holcomb on his shows has been painting everybody else as demonic and him as the righteous one, right? He's the righteous one that is being attacked.
Ain't nothing righteous about this old man. This
He's
grandpa.
the righteous one that is being wrong. He is the righteous one that is suffering all of these terrible experiences. That is what Corey Holcomb is leading everybody to believe.
He's 6'8", 300 pounds. He is a celebrity bodyguard. The nigga's 6'8", 300.
On the surface level, here we have
that nigga don't look. He's 6'8".
Big Homie CC that's flipping the script. He's saying that You need to get these hands put on you because number one, you hit women or you put your hands on women. Then you have all of these disgusting things that you said about young women or younger girls under age of 18, which I'm not going to go into detail, all the stuff they're talking about. But now this is what's happening here. People are trying to paint Corey almost in the same lane as a guy like EDP 445.
Hey man, he painted his own self that way, man. Ain't nobody painting nothing. He did it to himself, bro. You know, the clips just resurfaced and caught him up. That's all it done. Ain't nobody painting this nigga no way. He did it to himself.
Now, EDP 445 was a YouTuber. He got caught, I believe, not just once, but twice, trying to meet up with underage ladies.
Nah, I think, man, this nigga been caught more than twice.
Now, the brand of comedy that Corey Holcomb uses, it allows for somebody to, let me just say this, in the past at least, whatever he's saying, give it a pass. Because, okay, it's raunchy, but it's Corey, so you don't know if that's true. It's just maybe a bad taste to say that, but that's kind of Corey Holcomb's play on words, so fine. But now, let's say, for example, the guy Big Homie CC, let's say if he really doesn't like Corey Holcomb and never liked Corey Holcomb. Let's say he's not really so concerned about protecting women, or he's not really so concerned about any of that. He just don't like you. I'm not saying that he's not, but let's assume that. Now, hear what he can do. Well, look, bro, why you ducking his fade? You said you're a tough guy. You know what I'm saying? You said you'll pull up on Joe Budden, or, you know, what about me? I'm from Chicago. You know, you need to pay the price for what you did to these young girls. And I'm going to...
I don't know. This just a nigga that's like talking though. Like, it ain't like him and Corey really didn't bumped heads in the past before. I don't know. Maybe they did. I don't think so though. You know what I'm saying? Like they bump heads. They're currently not really beefing. This is just a nigga like who heard, you know, seen what was going on with Corey Holcomb, put his input in and said, I want to box him. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like all that is. It ain't even like, you know. But Corey Holcomb is out here saying, oh, he'll defend himself. You know how many people it would say that they would run the fade with Corey Holcomb behind this? I'd run the fade with this nigga, knock him in that big yam. Knock the shine off that yam. You know what I'm saying? I'll knock the shine off that yam. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't like Corey probably might not even know who this nigga is though. You know, so it's like, you know, Corey out here saying though, he ready to defend himself. He fear for his life now. Because people trying to paint him as a PDF and this, that, and the third. What is that going to prove, though? If he go run that fade with him, what is that going to prove? People still going to look at him like a PDF. He's still going to allegedly fear for his life out here.
Tell you what's going to happen on social media. More dudes who did not like Corey Holcomb, have never liked Corey Holcomb, are walking into an opportunity largely of a lifetime by saying, listen, Corey is not really built like that. Here's the opportunity to see if he really want to go head on and do that. And then what's going
and if that nigga 6'8", 300, bro, that's out that boy weight class. Corey ain't finna fight that shit.
What's going to happen is, let's say if that happens, the person's automatically going to gain a whole bunch of subscribers, a whole bunch of subs off of that narrative. And this is why it's just not good for influencers to ever go that route. You know, it's never good for influencers to ever talk about, you won't do this when I see you. There's somebody out there that want that smoke. Somebody out there want that smoke. And somebody out there want to paint you out like you're ducking the fate, like you're ducking them, like you scary. And again, this is the issue when you just don't leave things alone. Again, the whole situation with Corey Holcomb and Anton Daniels, that was problematic. It really destroyed the both of them. Right now, we will believe that Corey Holcomb and what he's going through is getting the worst of that deal. And it's because of the Anton Daniels situation, which altogether that really didn't break him at that particular time. But the fallout from that, talking about Anton Daniels' underage daughter and wife, that just goes to a lot of people, shows a lot of people, no character, right? No character, you're willing to do anything, especially with a minor. So that is incredibly bad. Then the tape for Christina Payne comes out. Okay, you get painted in a worse light. Then the whole situation with Darlene, that makes it worse. All right. So now people start building the case against you in your behavior towards women, your behavior towards people that are not men. And, you know, hey, bruh, let's see if you're really about that, right? And ultimately, these things could easily be resolved if, number one, you have a publicist, all right? You have somebody in your corner that will tell you, listen, today is the 5150 show on Tuesday. The last thing that you need to do is to talk about this because you're not going to make it better. You're going to make it worse. You're most likely on live stream going to say something that is going to incur damage to the brand, and you're going to incur damage onto your.
He his own boss. You can't tell him nothing. He ain't got no manager. He ain't moving like that. He ain't professional like that. You know what I'm saying? He ain't that big of a celebrity, bro. He ain't on no Dwayne The Rock Johnson type of level. No LeBron James. Hey, you're not gonna do that. You know, you don't need to speak on this. You don't need to do this. You don't need to do that. Nah, he his own man, you know? He his own man.
It is not fundamentally a good idea for you to talk about anything. If you feel like you're going to talk about anything, you should not even do the show. Because the more you talk and you agitate people, people are going to go out and look at what you've been saying in the past. Whether you meant it
That's what his lawyer should be telling him for
whether
real.
it's a joke or not, they're going to cut it up. Then once they cut it up, they're going to try to at least play what you said or paint the picture to a narrative of something else. And then it's going to cause more friction. Then you get a guy like Big Homie CC who don't like you. He gonna get on here and say, you been ducking me. Why you been ducking me? You a buster. You scary. You talk all tough, but it's $100,000 for a celebrity boxing match. Again, he might not even know you personally or might not even want to do this and all this, but because your comments about young women and young girls and you put your hands on Christina Payne, come do it to me. I bet you won't do it to me. Then you have the same guy talking to Joe Budden telling him you won't do it to him. But Big Homie CC seems to be closer in size than him, Corey Holcomb, and Joe Budden. And again, you're going to get more call outs like this, that somebody ought to pull up on Corey. Somebody ought to do X, Y, and Z to Corey. And again, when you have mistakes like this, all of this can be resolved by doing what? Jumping out in front of it. Look, guys, I made a mistake. I'm gonna keep saying that. Shouldn't have said that. It was all my fault. I messed up. Okay, I was in the heat of the moment.
Nigga ain't doing none of that. He his own man. He ain't finna do all that. He got too much pride to do that. And this man is a grandpa. I wonder if he actually has grandchildren. They say he ain't got no real relationship with his kids though. So hey. It's probably a good thing. There's no telling what he did to them.
Lost my cool. I lost my composure. I shouldn't have lost my composure. And you know what? Even though I had some disagreements with her, it was wrong for me to do what I did. Y'all are right to hold me accountable. And it's bad to put your hands on women. Then what would happen is it would stop all of the people. It would take all of the ammunition from these people you call haters. They wouldn't have a leg to stand on, right? They just wouldn't. There'd be no leg to stand on at all. They would have no real defense, period. Okay? But then you don't do that. You do the opposite. You go 10 toes down against the people. You try to defend yourself against the people. You roast her. You don't take no accountability for your mistake. You make it inherently even worse. Then you get more problems for other podcasters. You get guys like this coming up there when really the stress that you set from the Backdooria crowd and, the so-called, demonic Backdooria crew could have all been stopped or diminished if you would have just said that. And then you could have went back onto the show. Of course, you're going to have some venues not want to deal with you, but the level of accountability would be like, you know what? All right. He didn't hit her. He pushed her in the face. That's still wrong, but he didn't hit her. He didn't beat on her. Maybe some people look at that and say it's a mistake, but you know what? He apologized. He apologized to her. He can make it right with her. And then what he can do is we could allow him to come back and bring him back into the graces, especially in the black comedy circuit, things like that. Even though it's wrong, it can happen. People can probably forgive that and move on with your life. You make it worse. This is one of the examples of being worse. Now guys want to fight you over the fact that they feel like you're a buster and then you're not responding to the guy. You ain't got to respond to the guy, but I'm just giving you an example. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Dude Jackson back at it again. Another episode of The Celebrity Drunk. Just before I use her
Yeah, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Y'all think Corey gonna go run that fade with that boy? I don't think so. I don't even think for $100,000 a piece, Corey gonna run that fade, bro. You know? Nigga don't want that fade for real. That nigga don't want that fade for real, man. Hey, y'all let me know what y'all think, though. We on the road to 100 KOK. If you ain't hit that like button, subscribe button, and turned on all notifications, slap that dog shit about yourself, because that's the first thing you should have did when you clicked on this video. I'll get at you on the next one, and I'm gone. T.Y. Peter.